Video is more long form content. I know a lot of you guys, or some of you guys, like the shorter form content. This is going to be a new series I'm starting. Series meaning this is going to be a continuous thing. It's essentially like a podcast, I guess, like a mini podcast I'm going to do with a bunch of my friends, because a lot of my friends want to be on the channel, and I'm more than welcome to have all of them. It's just that since I live kind of far away from some, and some don't want to be in sketches, some would rather be in just talks, and then some want to be in sketches in the future. But right now, all they can do is talks because the Corona stuff. But like I said, lots more people who are going to come on. It's not going to be like a daily thing. Probably just every now and then. Um, but yeah, this is with my good friend Nolan. You guys can follow him at 1 second. Let me just look it up. You can follow him at on Instagram at Nolen Strapazar. So Nolen Nolen Strap Strap, and then Azar Azar. Yeah, he's in the video today. We'll talk about some stuff, but it'll be in the title and everything when you guys see this. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Keep growing, even if it's just a subscriber every day. It's really cool to see the channel still going. And like I said, if you guys can, go follow Nolan or leave something nice about him in the comments or something. It was really cool for him to come on and do this. And yeah, I look forward to doing this with more of my friends in the future. And hope you guys like this. Later, guys. Peace. What's up, guys? New video up. I'm here with a special guest today, my good friend Nolan.
Up,
Nolan,
guys?
welcome to the channel. Introduce yourself.
Thanks. Thanks for having me. Nolan Salad Bar. Just a gamer, really, and I like sports, especially football. So I'm ready.
All right, so we picked up some topics to talk about beforehand. Previously, we're having some technical difficulty problems, so this was supposed to be done like 2 hours ago, but it's all right.
Yeah.
So first thing we're gonna talk about is what we think about the Super Bowl matchup, Mahomes versus Brady. Some people are calling it GOAT versus Baby GOAT. Nolan, what do you think will happen in your opinion?
Oh man, it's like I like to think that it would be a competitive game, and I want to see it honestly, especially after the last few Super Bowls have been kind of like not super entertaining. Like it always sucks when your team's not there, but if you're still a fan of football, you want to see a good competitive game. I expect it to be pretty high scoring, honestly. Both defenses are pretty good. I think they don't get enough credit because they're really overshadowed by all the weapons on offense, really. But they destroyed them. I don't remember what week they played, like 14 or 15 in Tampa. The Chiefs absolutely destroyed them. It was a
Hmm.
regular season matchup. Both teams are relatively healthy. I know going into this matchup, the Chiefs, it looked like they're going to be without their starting left and right tackle. Could be a huge factor because the Bucks pass rushers are pretty good. But realistically, I think this is going to be like Super Bowl 48, the Broncos Seahawks 43-8. Like I don't think it's going to be
Yeah.
close.
Damn.
Normally, like 5 or 6 years ago, I wouldn't underestimate Brady or count him out, like especially after the Falcons come back. But Mahomes is way better than that Falcons team and Matt Ryan, so it's kind of hard to compare it. But it feels like it's going to be a blowout, but who knows? Brady, even despite how old he is, I think he always has a chance in any given game, really, no matter what team he's on. But we'll see. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, as much as I don't like Tom Brady, for all the years he kind of cucked the Steelers in the AFC Championship, playoff Brady is like low key different. He's just different like during regular season. I don't know if it's something in him or his competitiveness or maybe he just takes like fucking 16 weeks to heat up or what, but honestly, like playoff Brady is really good. I think the game. I actually don't agree in terms of the score. I actually think it will be a close game because both teams are relatively really effective in not turning the ball over. Um, Whether high scoring or not, I don't really know, but I think the game is gonna honestly come out to which team like has the least amount of turnovers. So like, say fucking Patrick Mahomes throws a pick or Leonard Fournette fumbles or something. I think that'll honestly be the deciding factor in the game.
As far as score predictions, I'm gonna ballpark it somewhere between like 24 to 17 or like 28 to like 21. I'm gonna say that's
Yeah,
probably what the score is gonna come down to, and
see, like,
I think I'll give it to the Chiefs just because they have more like like in terms of if you match every position to every position, I think the Chiefs ultimately have a more solid team, but it
yeah,
could go either way. I think.
yeah. It's like I'd say more around the range of like 35-28. This game's going to go one or two ways. We're going to see a close competitive game. And this feels like a game to where whoever has the ball last is going to win, to me, if it's close.
Hmm.
But like the Chiefs, like they pretty much score every time they touch the ball. The Bucks have to get out to a fast start. They have to really contain Tyreek Hill, something the 49ers couldn't really do last year in the Super Bowl. Really frustrating to watch. That hurt my heart. But like their secondary, they have a lot of young playmakers in the secondary, the Bucks, even though they're all pretty young and inexperienced. Antoine Winfield, I mean, he's been playing pretty crazy in this postseason, a lot of turnovers. The
Mm.
cornerbacks, though, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Like I said, Tyreek Hill is just really tough. Also, I think an interesting matchup to talk about is Travis Kelce against Devin White and Levante David. Two very
Mm.
good coverage linebackers, but Travis Kelce is another beast pretty much. So I agree with you on the turnovers, honestly. I mean, it just really, and also the battle in the trenches, who controls the line of scrimmage. Because, like I said, missing both of your tackles, even though Mahomes, the dude's a magician, he can make any throw from anywhere. Really, it doesn't matter as much. But the Bucks' strength on defense comes from their pass rushers and front seven. But even last year against the 49ers, he played pretty well, moved around a lot, created
Mm.
plays, extended plays, really. So that's an interesting matchup. But yeah, really, the turnovers, it's going to be the deciding
Yeah.
factor. So about like 35-28, 28-24, I would say. Still the Chiefs, but that'd be cool to see Brady win. I mean, crazy to see someone have 7 Super Bowl rings. That'd be pretty crazy,
Mm.
honestly.
Right. Yeah. Going back to what you said about the trenches thing, I think you actually make a really good point because if any of you guys have ever watched the Bucks play on defense, they're a team that sends a lot. They blitz a lot. Usually they'll blitz most of their linebackers, but then leave one or two in coverage because they have really good coverage linebackers, which is why they force
Mm-hmm.
a lot of turnovers in the secondary because they're able to use not only like a traditional well they're pretty versatile in terms of defense, but that's kind of how Bruce Arians is as a coach. He's been around forever. He did a lot for the Steelers back when he was
Yeah.
our offense coordinator. But yeah, like because they have a lot of flexibility with having really good people in the secondary, like really good slot corners, like Carlton
Mm-hmm.
Davis and who's the other corners? I can
Murphy
only think of
Bunting,
Carlton Davis. Uh,
or they
Hargreaves,
have
I think is no, I don't even think Hargreaves is on the Bucks anymore.
no, he's on the Texans. I think they have they have Antoine Winfield. I don't know all their positions. I think he's free
he's
safety.
safety. Antoine
They have
Winfield's safety.
Jamil Dean,
Yeah,
Sean
that's the other
Murphy,
one. Yeah, yeah, it was
Sean
Jamil
Murphy
Dean. That's what I was
Bunting.
thinking of. They
I
have
don't know
really
which
good
one's a corner
corners.
or not.
So yeah, I think in terms of like I don't know. Yeah, I think it'll be a good matchup because the Chiefs play a similar way too because they have a really good secondary too. Like Brashad Breeland,
Yeah,
solid. Tyrann Mathieu. In terms of how the
beast.
teams stack up, like by player archetypes, they're really like similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fast
So
young playmakers. Like both teams will give up a lot of yards, but they'll get a lot of picks. It's like they picked off Drew Brees what like 3 or 4 times in the divisional round, but they
yeah.
got torched a lot. But they still made plays. Like both teams are a bend don't break defense. Like they'll give up like 300 yards, but create a few turnovers here and there. So pretty interesting matchup, honestly. Though I think as far as the Bucks go, I'm pretty sure they're relatively healthy. They're not missing anyone. I don't think they got who's the big Samoan guy, the Maui looking guy from Moana.
Oh,
Vita Vea.
yeah, Vita
Vita
Vea,
Vea.
yeah.
So they got him back. That's pretty huge, honestly. I mean,
Yeah,
the
that
Chiefs
is.
center.
He
The
definitely
Chiefs.
is someone who puts I don't know, like, because the Chiefs really aren't a run first team. Obviously, they have a pretty good running back with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I think
Mhm.
it's really gonna be just like a passing off. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shootout for sure. I think.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Interesting question for you. So I know you're a former Steeler, or you're former. You still are a Steelers fan. Um,
right.
I don't know how you feel about Le'Veon Bell or Antonio Brown, but which one would you prefer to see get a ring, and why?
Uh, I don't really have like any hate towards either of them. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Brown I feel like in terms of skill, Antonio Brown actually is like still like a top like 10 receiver. He just really hasn't got the chance to prove it because like in terms of how the Bucks were using him, he really didn't see any type of production until the end of the season. Like, I'm
Yeah.
saying if you took Antonio Brown and put him on another team, he's still the starting wide receiver. Like, he's the
Yeah.
one, or maybe the two at chance, given the fact he's older. But he still has that skill, you know. He never stopped being bad. With him, it was all like, I
Off the
think, me
field.
personally, like mental health stuff. But I don't know. That's like a
Yeah.
different conversation to have for another time.
Hmm.
CTE is a motherfucker, but Le'Veon Bell, I feel like his career really just like fell off because I mean, like you take the Steelers from that time period, they had the best O linemen in the NFL. Like obviously those linemen aren't as good now.
Hmm.
Hence why transitioning into the next topic we're talking about our team's free agencies.
Yes.
Um, but like at that time, like the Cowboys and the Steelers were like the legit elite O linemen. Like there is not one other better O line in the NFL than them, and being carried by that line where he could like stand in the backfield like for 2.5 seconds before he makes a cut, and then going to the Jets, I think it really hurt his career because he took way more hits. He had injuries there. He really was never injured on the Steelers before. He just kept getting busted for fucking weed charges and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I think that honestly really hurt his career. But I mean, in terms of
Agreed.
whoever gets a ring, I really don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't think either of them will ever come back to the Steelers, so I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah,
Good for
I
them,
get
I
you.
guess. But transitioning to the next topic, the 49ers and Steelers free agency and who we'd want to see our teams draft in the first or second round. So obviously the 49ers are in a really weird position with the whole Jimmy G situation.
Yeah.
It seems like a decent amount of people might leave. You guys definitely have a lot of people under contract since your team's really young. But
Yeah.
there's definitely some room in the air for change, or maybe I think I'm not sure in terms of like salary cap. You guys would probably have like a lot, so there's definitely money you can throw around. So
Yeah.
who is someone you think is reasonable that you'd want to either fill in quarterback or any other position? Who do you think maybe someone who might walk and not be in the 49ers next year? And then who's someone you think you'd like them to draft to fill a position?
All right, so I guess I'll just start off with a quarterback. It's a mess now. Like it started off ever since the regular season ended. Pretty much, it was like, all right, we want to get Watson. Then it's like, oh, just a few weeks ago, it's like, all right, Stafford's the move. The Rams got him, obviously, and it sucks because Kyle Shanahan has always been in love with Kirk Cousins, and that's the most recent thing right now. And I'm like, bro, Kirk Cousins, like, don't get me wrong, he's not bad, but like it's debatable. Like, yeah, he's been playing longer than Jimmy. He's more experienced. He only has like one playoff win. Always had a pretty good amount of weapons around him. So he's not a bad quarterback. But honestly, in terms of upgrade from Jimmy G, like on a good day, Jimmy G is like a B minus. Kirk Cousins is like a B, like not that much better than him to be honest. So I wouldn't love that move, but I wouldn't really hate it because I think I don't know. Shanahan's so determined on making him a quarterback. That's who he's been in love with, who he's wanted to trade for like a long time. So I kind of just want to get him already. And like, obviously, I don't want to fail. Like, I don't want it to be like, oh, I can't wait for us to miss the playoffs again. But
Mm,
I want us to get him just to like not do great or see how it goes with him. For Shanahan to realize like, yeah, there's other quarterbacks out there for us to get or draft. Really, like, and it's interesting because I hear Matt Ryan throwing around a lot, even like Trubisky or like Jameis Winston. For me, I just want to draft like our own quarterback and like develop him. Like, yeah,
mm.
cool. Like if we have a chance to get Watson, like how do you not? He's like a top 3 quarterback. You know what I mean? But like we've been pretty good at the draft. Well, mid round, like first rounders, it's been kind of like rough, honestly. Like other than DeForest Buckner, he's not even on the team anymore. Nick Bosa, all of our first rounders have been pretty trash. So it's pretty tough. With quarterback, I guess I'll take Kirk Cousins or draft some young kid. As far as the draft, we hold the number 12 pick. It obviously depends on like the teams before us who they take.
And like
Quarterback would be
trades and stuff.
interesting. Yeah, trades. I don't see us trading up. I'd actually prefer to trade back because I think we can still get a guy we want, like trading back to like 18 or 20 and getting more like second, third round picks because we've been pretty money in that part of the draft. I mean, the past 3 years, Kittle, Fred Warner, Debo, Dre Greenlaw. I mean, Dre Greenlaw's fifth rounder. So I really care more about those picks. Like in my opinion, first round picks are overrated, really. Like I said earlier about like second and third rounders are more motivated, have a chip on their shoulder, so I like those players more. I think that tackle, I don't remember where he played. I think Rashawn Slater looks pretty good because I honestly don't think we're going to get Trent Williams back. I think he's going to ask for too much. Like he's a good left tackle,
Mm.
but he is up there in age. I mean, he's not really injury prone exactly, but The Slater kid, from what I hear, he can play left or right tackle. Our right tackle McGlinchey sucks, bro. Freaking can't. He
he's a
can't
first
like
he's a
freaking
first round
guard
draft
from.
pick too, right?
Yeah, bro. We took him. It was like, what was he, like 13 or 14 or 15, pretty
Oh,
much.
that's
But
tough.
like, literally, he's the only reason that we took him in the first rounder is because of Quentin Nelson. That was his teammate, and Quentin Nelson's a beast, bro. And he made him look so good playing together at Notre Dame.
Mm.
So either him or, honestly, it's weird that, but I want to take the tight end from Florida, Kyle Pitts. It's so
Oh
weird
yeah,
because
yeah. I
like
heard
it
the
doesn't make much
Steelers throwing
sense.
his name around.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys have Ebron, right? So I mean,
Yeah,
he's still
but
there, right?
yeah, we have Ebron. That's the fucking problem.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. But like,
he's a great playmaker. He just can't catch the fucking ball.
yeah, that's true. Or always stay healthy. I feel like he's always hurt. On the Colts, it seems like he played like 6 games for them, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as who I want to take, either the tackle or the tight end seems interesting. And I know it doesn't make much sense because it's like, oh, we got George Kittle. What's the point in drafting another tight end? But like, what I think they're going for is like this Kyle Pitts guy. Literally watching his highlights, I watched it last night. Kind of reminds me of Michael Thomas, just a really nice route runner. Can actually block, really good tight end. He's fast. So I'm like, dang, bro, to have 2 elite tight ends. I mean, the last team that tried to do that. Oh God, this is gonna be hard bringing up the Patriots with Gronk and Hernandez. Hopefully, without the murders, if we have 2 good tight ends, like without all that scandal and
Right,
stuff,
right.
that'd be pretty crazy to get him, honestly. As far as people who I think will walk, honestly, K1 Williams is pretty nasty, but he's older, a lot of knee injuries. Sherman, he pretty much confirmed he's not coming back. We're gonna let him go.
Oh wow, I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's up there in age and stuff, really. He knows that the cap situation. He says, like, unless there's a miracle, like, there's no way he's coming back, really, and stuff. But, like, I respect him. Like, I thank him for what he did for us. Sucks he couldn't get a ring with us, really. But I would love to get Jason Verrett back, man. I wanted him in the draft a few years ago when the Chargers took him. I was pretty upset. But he's pretty nice. I would love to get him back, really. As far as free agents, I would love to sign. Honestly, like, Corey Lindsley or Alex Mack, bro. We need a center, bro. Like, literally, once we lost Reston Richburg last year in the clutch game against the Saints, really, our center went out. He tore his ACL and like patella and shit, and then wasn't available for the Super Bowl, and it showed. I mean, Chris Jones really fucked us, honestly. I mean, he's a beast, really. So
Right.
up the middle, really, it just sucked, honestly. So we need a center. I really want a center, to be honest. So yeah. What about your Steelers? Tell me some moves.
To be honest, our team's like, I have no idea what the fuck is gonna happen because I do know that Ben's coming back next year. It's not really a question of if we're getting another quarterback. It's basically already confirmed he's coming back. But he did recently say on Twitter that he'll take a pay cut of even if he makes less than $1 million this year, he doesn't care, which is fucking insane because that'd free up literally so much cap room for us. Because our teams are kind of like in 2 completely different situations. You guys have lots of cap room and money to spend, and you're looking to bring in more players. Whereas we have a lot of the guys, but it's just the problem is since everyone's from that same like type of draft class, is we have to resign everybody. I mean, we have to resign Bud Dupree, T.J. Watt, and that's if we don't franchise tag them. But I really don't want even that to happen because that might start like some type of controversy because obviously players don't like getting franchise tagged, but it could lead to like an upward like in terms of production. But I mean, how do you go up from production if you're already going to win like defense play of the year and you lead the NFL in sacks? There's really no point. Bud Dupree, he's someone I'd love to bring back, but I don't know how that's going to work. Basically our whole O-line, Juju, Connor, I mean the list just goes on. Really, realistically, the only people we have that we know are good are all the people we've drafted from the last 3. I even think Minka, if he's not a free agent this year, he will be next year. So like, yeah, like in terms of our biggest thing is just seeing if we can keep everybody. So the Ben thing definitely helps. I know there's a big being a Steelers fan. I like follow all the Steelers fan pages and stuff on Instagram, and I know there's a big push to get Ben to retire. And I mean, I'm not really against it one way or the other. He didn't do terrible this year. He realistically only started falling apart like at the end of the year. But like yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world if he came back. I think we had really good success this year. It's just I honestly don't know what went wrong this year. I feel like part of it's like all the COVID stuff happening. It really like messed us up. Not getting a bye obviously didn't help. It seems like the second half of our schedule was way tougher than the first half, so that didn't help. And then injuries, man. Like, oh my god, we got fucked by injuries because there was a point in the season where we were literally using our third string safety, Marcus Allen, and he's not bad or anything. He did really good actually for the time
Yeah.
being, considering he doesn't play middle linebacker. But it was so bad at one point that we had safeties playing middle linebacker. I mean, you tell me
Yeah.
what team could realistically do good having their safety play middle linebacker, because it's not the same thing at all. Especially when
Yeah.
you have Devin Bush, who was a Pro Bowler the year before in his rookie year, not there. I mean, and it really
Yeah.
showed like once he left. Like, yeah, we
Oh yeah, huge gap.
in terms of us like being good against the like we were the top like 1-2 teams in rush defense like before like week 5 or 6. Once he left, like we were like fucking 20th. Like there's a big drop off in terms of us stopping the
Yeah.
run, especially when our conference is so run heavy. I mean, you have Lamar Jackson, he runs. I mean, hey, don't fucking shoot the messenger, but he's not a legit quarterback. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a really good quarterback in terms of controlling offense, but he's not a good thrower, or else he wouldn't force so many turnovers.
Exactly.
Nick Chubb and fucking Kareem Hunt.
Kareem
I mean,
Hunt.
that's like the best running back duo in the NFL right now. And then even with how shitty the Bengals are, their best player on their team is like Joe Mixon. So all the
Yeah,
teams we
he's
play are
nice.
all run heavy based teams. So when we can't stop the run, like it makes sense why we lost, especially considering we did so bad in the turnover battle the second half of the season too.
Yeah, tough.
I guess I don't know who we could bring in right now, and in terms of defense, I don't really think I want anyone to come in because all our corners are solid. They're
Yeah.
all under contract. Terrell Edmonds actually did really good this year for how much I hate the Steelers for getting him instead of Lamar Jackson when they reached for him. He actually had a
Yes.
really good year. So I guess if I wanted the Steelers to sign anybody in free agency, it'd either be not. I don't even think there's any good free agent running backs this year. I guess maybe like a solid like veteran O lineman who can kind of help the rookies we have right now. As long as it's at an affordable price. I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of weapons, we really don't need to get anyone at wide receiver.
Yeah. Set there.
I think what's really important for us this year is the draft. How we draft is going to be so critical. And
Exactly.
if I want the Steelers to draft anyone, I hope he's available. Najee Harris at like
Oh,
26,
dude.
25, whatever position we're at, our
Whew.
team would be so much better. Because, I mean, I love James Conner and all. He has a really cool story. It's great he beat
Yeah.
cancer. He seems like a really cool
Awesome.
dude on and off the field. But in terms of production this year, he is not there. And he gets injured all the time. He hasn't played
Yeah.
one full season through his first 4 years, man. I mean, he missed like his rookie season was like a breakout season, and the big story was like, oh, how are the Steelers going to replace Le'Veon Bell? And then James Conner comes in and just kicks ass. He has like almost 1,000 yard rushing, I think, that season. But then he misses like the last 5 games of the season when we're going into playoffs. The next year, he misses like the first 5 games of the season. Then last year he missed like 3 or 4 games because of knee stuff, and then even this year he missed like a bunch of time. So I don't know, man. Like I think our biggest need in this draft is running back, and then once we manage that, we just have to get a bunch of like middle linebackers because in terms of depth at middle linebacker, we're struggling. And I don't even know if we're gonna bring back Spillane or not. And he had like a breakout year. He did really good for the time being. I mean, he's not a conventional linebacker. He's like kind of really skinny, but I mean, he does what he needed to do. There was this one play when we played the Titans, and it was like 4th and 1, and they just did a ISO to Derrick Henry up the middle. Fucking skinny boy Robert Spillane fucking cracks him, and he like fucks up his collarbone and everything else that play. But he put like a big hit on him, and that was like a crucial part of that Titans game back when we were still undefeated. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think realistically for the Steelers at least, it's all going to come down to the draft.
Yeah, totally agree. Freaking pretty rough times. Like free agency and the draft, like it's fun, but also pretty stressful. Like you want to see your team get better, but it sucks like falling short or not of like the ultimate goal pretty much, and seeing players you love, like fan favorites, walk away. Like I said, James Conner's cool. His story's awesome, but production level and health, he hasn't been available. Like the biggest part of the NFL is just staying healthy, really. Like, yeah, your skill, being a good teammate, teamwork, but if you're unavailable, then it's like, how can we depend on you? Which kind of goes back to my thing with the 49ers. It's like, I like Jimmy. I don't think he's like top 10 quarterback, maybe like 15, 16, but it's like, he can't stay healthy. That's the reason why I kind of want to move on from him. But then again, like I still have like that like sentimental value. It's like he gave us something to believe in. Like he's been the best
Mm.
quarterback for us for the past like 10 years, which isn't saying much. Okay, second
Right.
best. Alex Smith has still been better, but like
Mm.
having Brian Hoyer as your quarterback, it's like, bro, it's so depressing. Like watching 49er games 3 years ago, bro. It's like you might as well sub me in, freaking my 5'5" skinny ass. Like I'll make better reads than him behind our terrible offensive line. But like really healthy, honestly. But for you guys, I was thinking about some key free agents, but I mean they're gonna be asking for a lot. It's not a crazy running back draft class. But how would you feel about Chris Carson? I know he's kind of the same as Connor, to where he can't stay healthy, but he's
I
pretty
actually
nasty. He
really
runs
like
heavy.
Chris Carson. I think Chris Carson's a beast, but like you said, like in terms of what we have right now and the people we have to re-sign, I don't even think us reaching for a free agent is even like negotiable. But I do think Chris Carson's actually really solid. He reminds me a
He's
lot of
nice.
Le'Veon Bell, actually, like vintage
Yeah,
Le'Veon Bell and how he plays.
heavy,
So it would
violent
be cool to
runner.
have him. But I know he does have some fumbling problems, though. I know he fumbles a decent amount, but
That is
so
true.
yeah, in terms of risk reward to how much he wants, I don't know how that's gonna work out.
I just want to see him out of
Um,
our division, bro. He always just runs all over us, man. So I just want to see him gone from the Seahawks. He can go anywhere else. Jets can have him.
so another thing, you segment you brought up is you wanted to talk about the tier list, my original YouTube video, the restaurant tier list, right? Because you had some
Yes,
opinions on
I
it.
love food. I agree with most of the stuff, honestly. Shoot, I don't know if we just start like our own list again because I don't remember like the exact restaurants in the exact order. But should we just
Right. No,
start from like
you're
bottom
good. Just
tier?
rattle off what you remember. I think is fine.
All right. Or let's do it kind of different. I've done like on a scale from 1 to 10, we'll give our ratings and kind of explain why. So for Jack in the Box, for me, you were pretty spot on. I think it's pretty ass. It's like I give it like a 3. I give it like a 3 to 10. My favorite item on their menu is like their water. Honestly, like you can't really mess up water. But like realistically, like the nuggets are all right. The everything's like hella salty, bro. Like I feel like I'm eating plastic there. The shakes are good when they're available, but like sometimes you go there at like 10 or 11, they trim their shit off, and I'm just like, okay, but Oreo shakes are pretty good, the fudge cake, but other than that, the food's pretty mid. I don't love it, to be honest. Jack in the Box, it's like, you know. What else? I don't know if we talked about Wendy's. I think it's all right for me. Like I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. A bit overpriced for my likings. It's not like super great. Like I'll get the
Yeah.
spicy nuggets. That's about it.
Yeah. Wendy's is kind of on the more expensive side, but I think in terms of quality, their food actually has gotten better from I don't know
Yeah.
whenever I ranked them in the video because they actually put one near my house pretty recently, so I've been going to it kind of a lot since it's literally like right there. But yeah, I'd agree with you in how it's pretty average, especially when you take into consideration how much they charge for stuff.
Shoot. Yeah. Like there's so many like better options. Like just spend a few more dollars to go to like my work in and out being unbiased as possible. But like for like slightly or a lot better quality burgers and just great food. What else? My friends and I, we get Little Caesars a lot when we like party and like drink and stuff. Like you said, it's good, like cheap food. Like it's not great, but it's like a whole big ass pizza for like what $4. It's like, yeah, sure, it's good. For me, I like the breadsticks more. So just for the breadsticks alone, I'll give it like 6.5 out of 10. Not amazing, but like value wise, it's pretty good. Like it's shit, but it's kind of like good shit, if that makes any sense. Really, like breadsticks are fire for me, or crazy bread, right? Isn't that what they call it?
Right? Yeah. It's called Crazy
Yeah.
Bread.
What else? I don't know if you talked about this one, but how do you feel about Wingstop?
I'm not a big wing person because I can't handle heat whatsoever, and it messes up my
Okay.
stomach a lot. I'll take some
Yeah.
fucking fat dumps after that, but yeah, I don't know. I've tried it before with my friends a couple times. It's not bad. I'm just not really a wing person,
Yeah, I
so
feel
I know
you.
that's kind of controversial because everyone loves their wings, us being Americans and all. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't hate it, and I don't really go there that often. So I guess like I would say it's like a C or a B or something. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See. Okay. What else? Let's see. Dang, I don't remember. There's a lot of bad ones out there, but like, let's see. I think. Did you mention Taco Bell or no? I can't remember.
Yeah, I had Taco Bell in the video. I think I said it was like a B tier or
Mid.
something along
Yeah.
those lines. Because I like Taco Bell. I feel like it's good. I just feel like I'm limited in what to eat there because like a lot of it has tomatoes, and I'm allergic to tomatoes. So
Oh,
I
dang.
really don't like. I don't know. I like their quesadillas. Their quesadillas are really good.
Yeah.
And I really like
Fire.
their mountain drink they used to have before I stopped drinking soda. I used to drink that all the time.
The
So
Baja Blast, is that what it is?
Yeah, they have the Baja Blast, and then they
Dude,
have another one. I think it's
the
called
blue one,
Live
right?
Wire or something.
Is it the blue one?
No, the other one it's like lemonade. It's like lemonade but with
Oh,
Mountain Dew in it or something. So yeah.
yeah. Their drinks are probably the best part. Pretty fire, honestly. What
And then
else?
didn't you want to talk about Arby's?
Dude, I had that yesterday, but like, anyways, like the disrespect to Arby's, like even on Twitter and TikTok, like I don't see it, bro. It's like people call us criminals for eating there. Like it's good, bro. Roast beef, value, bro. It tastes good, honestly. Their cheese sauce, everything. The sauce is so good. Like you could eat the roast beef sandwiches without the sauce. It just enhances it, honestly. Like how do you not love it, really? Like the sides are good, like the mozzarella sticks, the jalapeno bites or poppers. The shakes are really good. I will say, yeah, your stomach will get fucked up like mine did yesterday. Just asshole on fire all day, pretty much, really. But it's good, honestly. I love Arby's. Like that's like not S tier, but like they're pretty nice. When it comes to service and in terms of the ones that I go to, I give it like the A tier. So like 8 or 9 out of 10. Like it's pretty good, honestly. Like
Yeah,
people just need to try it more, honestly.
my friend Kalen fucking was on my ass the other day when cause do you know the dude who Supreme Dreams, I think is his name?
Yeah, bro. So
He
funny,
made
bro.
some video about Arby's, and
Yeah,
he
the
was making
delivery.
fun of it, and then I see my friend Kalen posted it, and I was like, oh come on man, Arby's is good, and then he was
Yeah.
bashing me. He was saying, oh you're disgusting. I don't know how you eat that. That is not made for human consumption. I think the whole reason people don't like it is just because one, it's not popular, and two, it's really
Yes.
simplistic. Like, I mean, is the fucking if you eat a roast beef sandwich from Arby's, is that really that much different from eating a sandwich from Subway? It's like the same exact thing.
Yeah, but it's like the difference between that is you're not going to wait like 20 hours or like Arby's isn't like false advertisement. Like, yes, I understand the concept of like tax, but it's like a $5 foot long is like 11.59, bro. And like their shit, like Subway's so mid, bro. Like it's so dumb, bro. Like I get like combo and a drink and stuff, but like I don't know. It just I feel bad for them, Loki. They get a lot of terrible customers. Whenever I go there or like Jersey Mike's or like a place where like they make it in front of you, you know, where you like tell them what ingredients you want, like Chipotle, like
Uh,
you have some pretty like Karen customers, just like so specific and picky. Like, yeah, exactly. Like 47 olives on the sandwich, bro. Like just drenched that shit in mayo. Like the weirdest sandwiches, bro. But like, yeah, Subway's all right, but I don't know. Like, I think just because it's the popular opinion to hate on Arby's, really, but I'll always defend it till like the day I die. Like, I love it. I've been eating it since I was young. Like when I lived in Moreno Valley, the first time I had it, I was like 5, and I'm like, yeah, I love this. Honestly, like that quickly became one of my favorite things. That and then my two favorite places, which are my S tier ones, really, Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out. Just
hmm.
great service, great food. Honestly, love the people there and stuff. Just really quality food.
Yeah, no, I
What
agree.
else?
Those are probably like my top two places to eat too.
Fire, man. Oh
And
man.
then to close out, we were gonna do our like top 11 for each side of the ball, right? And we're talking
Oh
about
yeah,
football, so like
our dream team's
quarterback,
best player
running
at each
back, yeah.
position.
So do you want to go your whole list and then my whole list, or do you think it's better if we go position by position?
Position by position, like we
All
gotta
right.
take turns going
Okay,
first. You
so
want to
you
start
want
on
to
the
start it
offensive
off
side of
then?
the ball, or who would have to be our dream quarterback or like best
Yeah,
player?
that sounds good. Do you want to start it off?
All right, for sure. All right, so the popular opinion would probably be Mahomes for this one, but I'll go Watson. Despite people thinking he's a drama queen, this, that, now, and stuff, he's a dynamic playmaker. I mean, he has freaking Walmart cashiers as offensive linemen outside of Laremy Tunsil. No one blocked for this guy. He makes crazy reads. I don't know if you saw the game last year or if you watched Texans games at all, really, where he got kicked in the eye against the Raiders,
Yeah.
checked to see if his eye was still there,
Yeah,
made that
no, that
crazy pass in
motherfucker's
the end zone.
tough.
So just he never gives up on the play. He has no quit in him. Yeah, he's kind of reckless with his body at times. I'll admit he gets me worried with the hits he takes, but like he's a true competitor really and stuff like that. He just always wants to win. Nice passes. He's a rock star really. He's super solid, so he'd be my guy.
Yeah. I think similar to I have someone who's kind of like Deshaun Watson in terms of play style. I'd probably go ahead and say Josh Allen. He's kind of like the top dude in the NFL right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everyone talks about his like accuracy and stuff, but I mean, you can't teach a quarterback to have an arm, and like he can make 80-yard passes downfield like on the dot.
Yeah,
I
dude.
actually feel like from watching him this season, he was actually really accurate. I know that was like his big thing his rookie years. He wasn't accurate, but
Yeah.
I think in terms of as a player and even just as like a leader of the Bills team, like you can tell like that Bills team doesn't function without him. If you took him out of the equation and put any other type of like middle tier starting quarterback, like in that position, that team is not as good. I wouldn't necessarily say he's carried the Bills all season, especially since they have such a good defense, and obviously Stephon Diggs. He's probably the number one receiver in the NFL right now. I mean, he finished
Yeah,
number one in yards and I think receptions. So
yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
beast.
I'd probably say Josh Allen for my quarterback.
It's a nice pick. All right, you want to do running back next?
Yeah.
Did you want to do yours first, or you want me to do mine?
Um. I can do mine.
Yeah,
I think right now, because I'm just doing this off the top of my head.
yeah,
I think, I think maybe this isn't a popular one, but I'd probably say like Clyde Edwards-Helaire because I mean, I feel like the whole reason the Chiefs have done so well this season compared to last season, like in terms of how many games they won and stuff, is because they have an actual solid run game, and I think that's literally all provided by Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And obviously, I'm thinking of this in terms of like a franchise, like down the road and stuff. And I
yes.
mean, in terms of skill that he showed in just his rookie year, I think he's like a really solid running back.
Nice.
But I could equally see someone arguing like a Nick Chubb or anything like that. I'm just thinking down the road, he's probably the best long term.
Yeah, and which brings me to mine, which you just said him. It has to be Nick Chubb. Dude is such a violent, nasty runner. Almost never puts the ball on the ground. His rookie year and the previous year, or he wasn't a rookie last year. I think it was his second year or so. They had kind of like a whatever offensive line, really good offensive line now. But even before then, he was running all over teams. Like when
Mm,
Ravens had one of the top defenses last year, I remember like that 76 or like 80 something yard touchdown he had. And the
yeah.
Browns, I don't think they beat them, but like, yeah, no, the Browns didn't beat them, but like Chubb was running all over them that game, really. And like, yeah, he has some weapons on the outside, like Jarvis and then Odell to take off like some of the pressure so they can't like stack the box exactly. But he's nasty. He reminds me of like Clinton Portis back in the day, or like Larry Johnson, just on the Chiefs. Just running backs that just run tough, run hard, violent
Mm.
runners, really. So he's nasty. Honestly, he was so good at Georgia. I was like, dang, him, Todd Gurley, Sony Michelle, they were so good there. I'm just like, man, Nick Chubb's gonna be such a beast. I wanted us to get him, even though like I know he was gonna go like he was a second rounder, right? Nick Chubb, second, third rounder, second, I
Uh,
think.
I don't know what
Like,
year it's from, but yeah, I'm sure he went really high in the draft.
yeah, he wasn't a first for sure. It was like second or third, but yeah, he's nasty, honestly. So he'd be mine. All right. This one should be short. Fullback. Go ahead and call Juszczyk. He was nasty on the Ravens. We're probably going to let him go, sadly, on the 49ers, let him walk, just because fullback is kind of a forgotten, unappreciated position, so we don't necessarily need him anymore. But, I mean,
Right.
he scored one of our only touchdowns in the Super Bowl. He can catch pretty good, honestly, when he lines up at tight end, really, out of the backfield, nasty blocker, just really gadget player, does it all. So I say Juszczyk. What about
Yeah,
you?
I'd probably say Juszczyk too. I mean, in terms of like he just adds like one other person you have to count for on offense, you know.
Yeah.
Another person who's like an honorable mention for me, I'd probably say that dude on the Raiders. I seen he
I
made
like
some.
Ingold.
Yeah, him. I seen he
Yeah,
made
he's
some
a
nasty
baller.
one-handed catch when they were playing someone. I think it was like the Dolphins or something. And he seems very Kyle Juszczyk-ish in terms of like
Yeah.
what he offers in offense and just in terms of another threat on the field. But
Yeah.
yeah. So tight end. I don't know. I mean, I want to be like different because I feel like my list so far is really basic, but
Yeah.
I it kind of has to be like Travis Kelsey. I mean, you can't really like
Yeah.
say anyone else. I mean, he's basically
Yeah.
like a modern day like Tony Gonzalez, and like he's basically the number one wide receiver. Like even with
Yeah.
like having people like Tyreek Hill and stuff, like he's the dude like you have to cover an offense. And I mean, his size makes a mismatch for whether you're a safety, a corner, a linebacker, because I mean, he's just so athletic, you know.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna try to be like somewhat creative. I told myself I want to be super biased, but I'm going George Kittle. I mean, closest person other than Kelsey that has reminded me of Gronk in terms of just blocking, pure athletic ability, strength. I mean, he's a beast, honestly. I know Travis Kelsey broke his single season record for like receiving yards by a tight end in a season, or most yards, really. But like when George Kittle set that, it's like he set that with CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins as his QB, bro. He's being double teamed already. Like he's a beast. Yeah, just the only thing about me is like this health really has had a lot of foot issues lately, but he's nasty. I mean, I don't know if you remember the play against the Saints where he carried us like
Yeah,
for
where
two,
you're
where it's like
stiff
three
arming
took
three
three
people
guys to take him
downfield.
down. Yeah, bro, and it's like he's nasty, bro. Like honestly, like and people like to just discredit him, saying like, "Oh, he hasn't really like won anything just yet." This is like his third or fourth season, but like even last year without him, I don't think we even make it to the Super Bowl. And it's like, yeah, he doesn't have a great QB and stuff, but what does that tell you if that he can help his offense carry it to his team to the Super Bowl without having like a super elite tier like tight end? Like, yeah, I'd agree. Even though like he's my favorite player, I don't think he's the best tight end, but he would be mine. Kelsey's still there just because of the more experience, but what do you think would happen if you swapped their teams? Like if you put Kittle on the Chiefs, you think like he's such a beast there, honestly. I think
Right.
that'd be
Yeah.
pretty crazy. But George Kittle overall just great player, funny guy, a lot of good charisma, good energy. So he'd be my guy. Do we
All
want to
right.
go with wide receiver 1 or do we want to do the offensive line first?
Um, let's do wide receiver, but let's just list all three of them.
And okay. All right, so I'm gonna do two guy like 1 and 2, and then I'll choose a slot one for my third guy, really. But so for number 1, Michael Thomas, he's nasty, really. Really nice route running and stuff like that. Attitude isn't really like a concern for me. Everyone calling him just like slant boy, and he doesn't run any routes. Well, he doesn't drop anything really, bro. He's nasty. I mean, he's always double and triple teamed. Yeah, he seems kind of on like the slower side, but like there's been really good receivers in the past who aren't really fast, like Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden, just tough receivers, tough hands. They don't drop anything, so he'd be my first guy. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No, you
I'm gonna
good?
say Stephon Diggs because I mean Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs. I mean he's probably arguably the best route runner in the entire NFL. He's
Agreed.
young, which I think is really important. You look at a lot of the other good receivers in the NFL right now, they're actually starting to climb up there in age. Whereas Stephon Diggs, I mean he's still like 26, 27. That's like a fucking baby in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I mean yeah, he's just an overall beast, and he seems like a really hardworking, motivated dude. So yeah, I'm gonna go Stephon Diggs.
Nice. All right, my second guy. It's hard not to choose him, and he broke our hearts in the Super Bowl. That being 49er fans, Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's a freak. You can line him up anywhere, really. All the jet sweeps, just the way in which you can use him. His pure speed, like his route running. Like I think his first few years in the league, where he was just primarily like a returner and like doing all the peace signs, running past all the players, scoring all the touchdowns. But he can run nasty routes. Honestly, he can obviously like take the top off the defense. He doesn't really drop much. Super dynamic, juke you out of your shoes. Just speed you can't teach in like unreal athleticism. So it'd have to be Tyreek Hill for me.
Yeah, my two, I think everyone knows how legit he is just off this year, but obviously Devontae Adams. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not really a big Packers fan, and I don't really necessarily like Devontae Adams, but I think just in terms of skill, it'd be crazy not to put him as the other starting receiver, because I mean, like, he's almost like borderline unguardable. I mean, he's this year I think he's really just showed how much of a awesome receiver he is, especially with the fact that he doesn't he I mean, I'm not gonna say Alan Lazard or MVS suck or anything. I think they're both
Yeah.
decent receivers,
Mm-hmm.
especially out of 2 or 3, but they're nowhere near like in terms of say like Godwin or something on like the Bucks or anything like that. So
Yeah.
he really doesn't have anyone to carry him, and I think even if you took away Aaron Rodgers, he'd still like be very dominant wide receiver.
Agreed. All right, and then my last guy, the guy I would kind of put in the slot or just anywhere, like any of these receivers can work on the slot. So I guess we don't have to specify it down to that. I think AJ Brown's pretty nasty. Everyone talks about like being ripped, pure athleticism in like terms of his teammate in college, DK Metcalf, who's also pretty good. But AJ Brown's just a beast, bro. The catches he makes, honestly, just he's so hard to bring down. I don't know if you saw that play against the Ravens or whatever. I don't know if it was a game winner or the one to set it up to tie into overtime. He just carried like 4 or 5
Yeah,
defenders into the end
yeah,
zone.
yeah, yeah.
He's sick. He's nasty. So AJ Brown is pretty nice for me. So I choose him.
Yeah, AJ Brown is really good. That's a good person. I think this one's gonna be kind of controversial, but whatever. I'll stand by it. I'm going with DJ, man. I know he had such a hard year this year with all the drops and everything, but like, man, like I know like when they drafted him, they're going for the whole we want someone to be the heir to Antonio Brown thing or whatever, right? And
Yes.
I'm not saying he is the next Antonio Brown or anything like that. I don't really feel like player comparisons like that end up working out for anyone, but in terms of like production and what he's accomplished, he could easily be like one of the top 3, top 5 receivers in the NFL if he just fixes his catching. Because when
Yeah.
he is in open space, he's probably more elusive than even someone like a Tyreek Hill, man. I mean, there were so many times this season where he caught a pass and it was just a simple like 10-yard in out or stick route or anything like that. and then he would juke a defender and then spin off and then juke again, and then all of a sudden it's a 70-yard touchdown. I mean, I think he's a really good deep ball receiver too. I mean, he's fast. I
Great
really
hands.
think his biggest problem is just consistency. I think he just needs to stop letting everyone else's like voice get in his head. I actually don't think Juju is going to come back this year. I think he's more likely to sign with a team like the Texans or Jets or something.
Yeah.
So even though he's getting all the receptions now, I think it'd lead to Claypool getting a bunch of receptions or Washington getting a bunch of receptions, and it'll actually free him up because he won't have to be worried about getting double teamed or all the pressure on him, and you'll have. I think next year he'll probably be. This is just me guessing. I'm gonna say he's gonna go be like a 1,100-yard receiver with at least like 6 or 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, you see that. Definitely realistic. He's a beast.
All right. Let's
Left
just
tackle?
list. So I feel like no one really wants to hear about offensive line, even though it's an important position. So just list off all 5 of yours, and then I'll list off all 5 of mine.
Yeah, we don't have to explain why. We know why. So I'm going
Yeah.
from like working the left side to the right. So Rodney Stanley off the Ravens. I go left guard, Quentin Nelson. He's the best lineman in the league. Center, Rodney Hudson. Right guard, Zach Martin. And right tackle, Ryan Ramczyk of the Saints.
All right, I think that's a pretty solid list. Mine would actually be Tron Armstead. I think Tron Armstead's a beast.
Yeah.
Quentin Nelson, like how you said. In terms of center, I don't know. I really don't know. I guess I'll say Rodney Hudson. I really can't think of any other like super solid centers off the top of my head.
Jason
Right
Kelsey's
guard.
the only other guy, really.
Who would you say?
Jason Kelsey's like the only other really good center. There's like
Yeah.
just the 2, really. That's it.
Right guard. I'll actually take our guy. Not DeCastro. Our rookie dude. Fuck. Why can't I think of his name off the top of my head? Damn, fuck, I can't think of his name right now. He's like a rookie, like our 5th round draft pick this year. He had like a really solid season. He filled in for DeCastro like half the season. Can't think of his fucking name.
Is it the guy from Michigan or is that someone else?
No. He's from the Louisiana school, the Raging Cajuns.
Raising Canes?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna look up his name real quick. And then my right tackle would probably be Ryan Ramczyk too.
Yeah, those guys are all beast, really. Yeah, no one really cares about linemen, but they're freaking unappreciated heroes in the league, bro. They're beasts.
Yeah, for real.
Ooh. Are we gonna go to defense, or are we gonna wait for you to look at the guard?
You can just say who your person is for defense.
All right, so I'm gonna do the free safety and then strong. Okay, so
All
free
right, that sounds
safety,
good.
Minka. I mean, can do it all really. Can tackle really well, cover really well, man
Right.
zone coverage. You can do whatever pretty much. Oh, strong safety is tough, bro. Because like Adams is so good, but like I think when healthy and when healthy is a key. I'll take Derwin James, bro. He's nasty, honestly. He's so good. I miss watching him play. That's why I really wanted the 49ers to take a few years ago. But so yeah, those would be my 2 safeties, really.
Yeah, it was Kevin Dotson, by the way. Guys, my bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was Dotson, but for some reason I kept thinking DeMar Dotson, and I was like, no, it's not him.
Yeah.
So I knew who it was. I just was thinking of the wrong person. Yeah, my bad. If you see this, DeMar, sorry. Yeah, safeties. Yeah, I'm gonna say Minka too. I mean, I don't really need to expand on that. If you're a
Yeah.
Steelers fan or you watch any type of football, you should know he's cold as fuck. He's basically a turnover machine.
Yep.
And then the other safety, I was thinking maybe Blitz Boy, but
Yeah.
I think I'd probably actually rather say Tyrann Mathieu. It kind of sucks because my team, if we had it out on paper, it's realistically just like fucking half Chiefs players, but I mean, whatever. Tyrann Mathieu's nasty, man. I mean, he's a great tackler. He's a very team motivated person. And I mean, he's older and he still fucking kicks ass, man. There's like very few safeties in the NFL that are even like close to him in terms of production or what he offers on a team.
Yeah, 100% agree. All right, we're gonna go with move down into the front 7. I guess the linebackers. So we could do both of our right outside linebackers. So like a coverage guy and then a pass rusher. So coverage guy, I'll be biased and say our guy, honestly, Dre Greenlaw's nasty. I think just because Fred Warner gets all the attention and credit now, not many people know who Dre Greenlaw is, but he's really nasty. Honestly, he's so good. Never misses tackles. A ball hawk, really. And pass rush, as far as a 3-4-1 pass rushing, right outside linebacker, Chandler Jones. Patriots are really dumb for letting him go. He is so nasty there, has so many sacks. He's pretty much unblockable, so he's really good.
Yeah, my two right outside linebackers, obviously I'm going to choose Bud Dupree. I mean, when he doesn't get hurt, dude, he's easily as good as TJ Watt, which is fucking insane to say when TJ is probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year. And the other right outside linebacker, I think I'll just go with, yeah, I mean, I'd probably say Chandler Jones too. I feel like he's kind of undercredited in terms of what he brings to a team. I mean, he's another, like, nasty pass rusher. Uh,
Exactly.
I really don't feel like a coverage guy outside is as important,
Yeah, not
especially
anymore.
considering the defenses I like and I like to see really are like 3-4 based. So I'd rather just have
Yeah,
two blitzing linebackers anyway.
yeah, it's fair. All right, so moving to the middle, I guess you can go first for your two guys.
The middle, I'd probably say Fred Warner is one of them. I know that's your guy, but
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think Fred Warner is really underappreciated for what he brings to that defense. He's pretty nasty. He's fucking fast, dude. There's few middle linebackers in the NFL who can move as good laterally as he can. And I know it's like biased, but I'm gonna say Devin Bush. Like Minka, he's a turnover machine. I know most people probably don't know who he is, but that's just because this season it got cut so short. I mean, he only played like 4 or 5 games, and in the 4 or 5 games
Yeah,
he did play, his presence was like really felt. And for another reason, the same as Fred Warner, he's just super fast laterally. I mean, there's
yeah,
very few linebackers who can just go like
fly across
top
the
end
field.
speed like at a moment's notice, and I think both those guys do that. So that's why I'd say them.
For me, I obviously Fred Warner. You said him. He's my guy. He's like our quarterback on defense. Like we would give up like 40 something points a game without him. Really, he's nasty. And
Right.
then another guy I have the utmost respect for, probably still the best linebacker in the league on the Seahawks. I hate playing against him, but Bobby Wagner's nasty. Hard hitting, never misses a tackle. Dude's been an All Pro like every year, pretty much. Honestly, like pretty much when the debate was like who's the best linebacker, when it was like back in the day of like
Luke
Kuechly and like Patrick
Kuechly.
Willis, I'm like
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner's right behind them, honestly. But now he gets the credit he deserves. All right, so left outside linebackers. I guess, like I said, coverage ones don't matter, just two best pass rushing or whatever. So obviously, Madden has him as a left outside linebacker, even though he says he plays left end for you guys. Hard to have to go TJ Watt, unblockable, just like his brother pretty much in his prime. And then, I mean, Khalil Mack, he's still unblockable. He's a beast on the Bears. So those would be my two guys.
Yeah, I'd say TJ Watt too. I mean, like I said, you watch football, I don't feel like that one's really need of
Yeah,
explanation. He's probably gonna win
yeah.
there's a good chance he wins Defense Player of the Year.
Yep, should.
The other left outside linebacker, I'm trying to think of some young dudes. I feel like there's some really good edge rushers that I can't think of right now. This one I feel like is kind of weird because I think he's realistically more of an end than an outside linebacker, but
Mhm.
I'd probably actually say like JPP because even though he fucking blew off his
Yeah,
hand,
dude.
I mean like he's still
Yeah,
nasty, dude. Like
he is, man. He is
you can
good.
see like how much he brings to that Bucks defense. So I would either say
Hmm.
either JPP or Shaquille Barrett, either one. I
Yeah,
mean they're like basically the same player, so either
pretty
one I think
much.
is fine.
All right, so moving down to the big boys in the trenches, right end. I think you know who I'm going with. Even though he only played 2 games for us before he tore his shit. Nick Bosa, man, he's so filthy, and the fact that he only had 9 sacks, it's incredible. And people like to say, my friend, including he's a Raiders fan, he likes to think their guy who had like 10 or 12 sacks or whatever, Max Crosby, is better than
Max
him. The
Crosby
guy
is a
that looks,
beast though.
he is cool. He looks like the Mr. Freeze, like you said, pretty much. Looks like a
Yeah.
freaking snowman. But yeah. Anyways, Nick Bosa, like in the Super Bowl, bro, he was all over Mahomes, stripped him a few times. I saw this fun stat that they brought up, PFF page on Twitter, Pro Football Focus or whatever.
Mm.
Frank Clark in the past two postseasons has had 22 pressures, which is tied for the most with Nick Bosa. And I look back at it, I'm like, damn, last year in our 3 playoff games, he had 22 pressures as a rookie, and he had 12 in the Super Bowl. I didn't even know that, honestly. I mean, I knew he was being
Damn.
held like every play, but Nick Bosa's
It's
an
crazy.
animal. He's a beast, bro. He's my favorite defensive player we have, so I'd say him.
I feel like there's lots of people putting end since end is such a really solid position in the NFL right now.
Yeah, it's a
But
lot
I'll
of
go
them.
ahead and say Bosa too. I think Bosa is nasty. I think his biggest concern is just injury stuff because he seems kind of
Yeah.
injury prone like his brother. But yeah, I think he's pretty nasty. D tackle, I'll just say both of them. Aaron Donald obviously doesn't really need to be explained. I mean, he's probably the best inside lineman in the NFL. And the second
Yeah.
best inside in the NFL, who I feel like doesn't get any credit at all, is Cameron Hayward. He's old, but I feel like that's even more of a reason why he should be up there because he's
Yeah.
so old and he's the second best interior lineman in the NFL.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if someone said Chris Jones or I don't know, maybe Fletcher Cox or someone like that. But I
Yeah.
think Cam Hayward's probably the second best defense tackle in the NFL besides Aaron Donald.
Yeah, perfect transition to mine. You said one of mine, so I have to go with Fletcher Cox. Even for his age, like I said, Eagles are pretty trash. Honestly, they're a high school football team right now. Pretty much, they're not very good. But
Right.
Fletcher Cox is a game wrecker. Honestly, like I'm happy he got a Super Bowl when they beat the Patriots. He's nasty, pretty much still unblockable, fucks people up. This one's pretty biased because he's probably still my favorite player in the league, and I was heartbroken when we traded him. DeForest
Yeah,
Buckner. I mean, he's
DeForest
6'8", bro.
Buckner's
He's
solid too.
unblockable. I mean, he's fucking ginormous. He's literally a tree, 6'8". Unblockable, really nasty, really good for the Colts. Left end, shit. I think you said him earlier, really. Although he's injury prone, like his younger brother, it's like Joey Bosa. He just churns tackles, he just spins them around, bro. He just moves past them. Joey Bosa, his technique, his hand movement. I know that sounds really weird, but like just
No, I get you.
like just clubbing through, like just swimming through people, really, just like moving them around. Honestly, he's really fun to watch. Honestly, yeah, he'd be my left end. I know he's a right end, but as an honorable mention, Myles Garrett's pretty nasty, honestly. Despite after the Mason Rudolph shit, like that's whack. But like he's pretty unblockable too. So that would be my guy, really.
Right.
Still.
Yeah, my other end, even though I guess you could put him in interior or end, but he always plays ends in the game. I'm gonna say Stephon Tuitt. He's nasty, man. I mean, he's just like Cameron Hayward. I feel like because T.J. Watt is on that like line as an edge, he gets all the recognition, and which he obviously deserves. But like our whole like line, man, is nasty. Because Stephon Tuitt, I think even though T.J. Watt's first in sacks, I think Stephon Tuitt was like fifth or something. So, like, I feel like that just gets overshadowed because, I mean, he makes a lot of plays, even in the run game. And this was like, his first year of actually seeing what a whole season of production from him is like because, like, his last, like, 3 or 4 seasons, like, he's been hurt, like, half the season every year. This was, like, his full season playing, and it really showed because, like, even at some point in times when, like, our linebackers were down and stuff, like, he was carrying in terms of run support. So I think he's really solid. And I think we actually skipped the 3 corners. I don't think
I
we
was gonna say,
did
all
the
right, because
corners yet.
I said front 7 first. I know it's weird because we did safeties, front 7, and then the corners, the last one.
Yeah, but
all right. Okay, so are we just gonna list them and then kind of explain them because like they're not super entertaining, but I like talking about corners, honestly.
you can go first. So it's 3, right? We just have a slot and then 2 outside.
Yeah, so first 2, and then the last guy will be the slot. So number 1, I like Marlon Humphrey. I mean, he's long and lengthy, never gets beat. He reminds me of like a mix of like kind of like a Charles Tillman. He just really punches the ball out a lot, never gets beat deep. He's kind of like he doesn't look very fast, but he keeps up with pretty good receivers. I've almost really never seen him get beat deep. Only concerns is like with COVID, really. That's really the thing. And hold on, I think my AirPod died. So wait, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I think only my left one died. Yeah, so Marlon Humphrey, and then second one, I like Marshawn Lattimore a lot. He's nice, honestly. Literally, he plays like Deion Sanders whenever he's against Mike Evans, but he's still really good.
Right.
And then my slot guy, like Mike Colton's really good. I want to say him, but I feel like that's probably your guy. So I'll go with Kenny Moore from the Colts. He's nasty.
Kenny Moore's pretty nasty.
He is really good, makes a lot of crazy catches, really good at tackling, a lot of forced fumbles. I don't know if that's just a thing with nickel corners, like or like slot corners. All the forced fumbles, like K'Wan Williams, like Hilton, Moore, like all those guys are so good. So those would be my 3 guys.
Right. Yeah, so like you said, for slot corner, I'm gonna go Hilton. I'll go Hilton or Sutton. They're both fucking beasts. Either one. I mean, Cam Sutton played like half the season since Mike Hilton was out like half the season, and he stepped in like he was never even gone. I mean, that's fucking crazy. In 4 games, he had 4 forced fumbles as a fucking corner, which is like unreal. In terms of outside guys, yeah, I'd probably say Marshawn Lattimore too, like how you said. I'm not the biggest Saints fan in the world, but that like Lattimore, I don't ever see anyone catching balls on him. He's really solid. And then the other corner, I'd say Jalen Ramsey. I mean, obviously he like talks a lot and he's really loud, but like in terms of physicality and coverage, there's probably no one else in the NFL who's even close to him in terms of like what they bring to like the defense. Like he's realistically the only corner who I can think of in the NFL who's really like the captain of their prospective defense, even with all the other people on it.
Yeah, pretty much. I have to agree there. So yeah, pretty solid list. That was fun.
Yeah, I think we did good. All right, Nolan, it was nice having you on.
Thanks for
We're
having me,
just
bro.
about under an hour. I think that's pretty good considering most podcasts will go for like 3 hours.
Yeah, man.
So I think we hit the mark. We talked about some cool stuff today. It was
Yeah.
great having you on. Hopefully the audio isn't fucked up when I go to review it right now. And yeah,
Yeah.
see you later.
All right, later, bro. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Yeah, no problem. Later, Nayland.